Hi, I'm Dr. Jaban. One of the big topics that keeps coming into my office is heavy metals in supplements. Are they supposed to be there or not? Well, in some cases, yes, they are. In some cases, they're needed. Did you know that if you strip every heavy metal out of a supplement, especially a binder like a charcoal or a zeolite, that it doesn't work very well after that? That's right, it doesn't work very well. There's a lot of guys out there talking about how you have to be 100% metal free in all of your products, otherwise it's gonna retoxify you. That simply isn't the truth. So let's get down to the facts. All right, you need some metals in your body. You absolutely need them. Without metals in your body, you don't get to do certain things like fold enzymes. And guess what? We need that folding of enzymes to make them active so that we can do so many processes such as make energy. You have to have enzymes, which means you have to have some kinds of metals for that protein folding. All right, what else? The type of metals that you want in your body is not elemental. We don't want it free floating in our water. We don't want it from dental amalgams. We don't want to be playing with broken thermometers where that mercury is pure. We don't want it from herbicides or pesticides. Those are some of the big places that we're getting metals into our body that are elemental. We want it to be plant-based. Those plant-based metals means that the plant pulled it up, bound it to some carbon chains, and now it's a covalently bonded metal. And covalently bonded metals means it takes 2,000 degrees to break it. None of us are going to get to 2,000 degrees for any reason, and if you are, then we've got a whole lot of other things to worry about that are not elemental metals. So, elemental metals are the bad guys. They're the guys that can create all the depression, all the anxiety. They can damage the tissues. They get stuck in your body. It's the plant-based, organic, carbon-based, carbon-bound metals that are going to be okay. And I've seen this with lead and arsenic, and some other guys have talked about this. Josh Axe has a YouTube video out there about that, and Zach Bush does too. Both of these guys are very well respected, very knowledgeable practitioners that are also talking about this, because we do need a little bit of metal, and we can't be scared of the plant-based kind, although we have to be very careful and very aware of what's going on out there. All right, so the other thing is, metal pulls metal, so that's why some of these binder products still have a little bit of metal in there. So when you put a binder in your body, if it is activated charcoal, and I'm trying to figure out what activated even means, activated would mean that it's actively doing something, right? Well, charcoal's in your body, and I went and talked to a biochemist that's got to use an electron microscope about this. Activated charcoal is burnt. It's carbons that are all burnt out. They aren't moving, they aren't active, they aren't doing anything. They're just floating through your system when you put them in there. And they mostly stay in your digestive tract. So when you get an active binder, it actually is moving a little bit, it's vibrating, and it's not burnt out. So these are living, live, energetic carbons, and sometimes those carbons, again, are attached to the metals, which are drawn to your metals. So when they're floating through your body, there's an affinity between that lead that you have in you and the binder, and they're going to stick together so that they can be pulled out, not just floating by when this guy's over here and it's just floating by. You don't want your binder to just go floating by. Also, the zeolites out there. There's a lot of zeolites on the market that have been stripped down to not having any kind of metals or anything in it. Again, we want those metals in there because they have an affinity. As long as they're attached by the carbon chain, they're going to float by, and then they're going to go and they're going to pull it all out. So that's why some of the products out there that you see on the market have low levels of metals, is because it creates that magnetic pull, that affinity for the other metals, for the toxicities in your body. And if you've seen some of these products, I use a few of them in my office that we know have a little bit of metal in them. And those products that we're using, they seem to work 10 times better, and patients are getting well. So when you take and look at the research out there, you also see practitioners talking about the effectiveness of these that are very well respected, and the safety of it, the non-worry that they have towards some of these products, because they know that they're carbon bound. They know that it takes 2,000 degrees to break off. They know it's not going to come off in your body. That's the key to understanding what's going on with some heavy metals and some of the products out there. So I did this video because I've had a lot of patients coming in asking the question, so I know it's not just them. Hopefully this helps you out, get some knowledge to you. I'm gonna look and see if I can't find those YouTube videos for these other docs, so that we can just keep sharing the information, because knowledge is power for healing our bodies. So if you like this video, share it out, like it. If you have any questions, let me know. And if I don't know the answer, I got some guys that probably will, that are, like I said, the quantum physicists, the molecular biologists, because those guys, they're deep in the research every day for those kinds of things. So let us know.